Kia ora North New Zealand Youth, it's Matt Moore here, the Youth Pastor for the North New Zealand Conference, and welcome to the 2019 Youth Week of Prayer. If you don't have an opportunity to catch up with your own youth at your own local church, or you just don't have the chance to get out for whatever reason, this is a perfect opportunity for you to join in on what is happening all over the globe in our church, which is the Youth Week of Prayer for 2019. And so this is just an opportunity to jump online and to engage in this space, to pray, to read God's Word and draw closer to Him as we discuss a really important thing, which is the local church. And the theme for this week is actually called Back to Basics. So often in life we make things confusing, we make things complicated, but when it comes to God and His this beautiful movement, this beautiful thing that He created and born a little over 2,000 years ago, the local church is not meant to be complicated. It's not meant to be difficult. It's just so simple. And I guess that's really what we want to come back to this week as we look at the church a little bit closer and understand really how we need to come back to the basics, to the beginnings, to the origin of what it was all about, and that we can come to a closer understanding of not only the church, but of God Himself and His plan for us. So let's get into it. It's great to have you along, and I just want to really encourage you throughout this week to make sure that you engage with these videos, share them with whoever you please, and if there are any questions or comments, please feel free to add them below, and I'll do my best to either answer them online or perhaps in a future vlog throughout the week as we go through the readings. Also want to really encourage you to read the readings for yourself and have that time in prayer and God's Word, and you'll find the link to those readings in below in the comment section. So let's get into it, and this particular reading for today, which is Saturday the 16th of March, is all about the foundation of the church. Now, 2,000 years ago, the term they used for church in the Greek, when we read it in the New Testament, is called ecclesia. Now, excuse me if I don't pronounce that quite right. I'm no Greek theologian. However, this term, ecclesia, was to mean called out ones. So that people have been called out and to be a part of something new. Something that Jesus Himself instigated and the disciples continued on. And we can see that at how the apostles did this back in the beginning of Acts. And I'm going to read just a few short verses from Acts chapter 2, which really encapsulates what the local church is all about. And we start here in chapter 2, verse 42, and we're going to read through to 47. Here we go. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe, and many wonders and miraculous signs were done by the apostles. All the believers were together, and they had everything in common. Selling their possessions and goods, they gave to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes, and they ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. Does that sound like your church? I sometimes wonder how we've managed to complicate such a thing. I guess for me, when I read this passage, quite often today, we use the term, are you going to church? Or you're coming from church? Or what are you going to do at church? And sometimes those words conjure up things like we actually have to go to a particular place to have church, that church is like a building, as we often can call church. But the true essence, when it comes back to the basics of what ecclesia, the church was, is that it was not a place, it was not necessarily a destination or anywhere. It was in fact people gathering together. It's you don't go to church. You don't come away from the church. You are the church. We are the church. Because when we are together, we are stronger. And when this happens, when we meet together for this reason, we are the church. And then God can manifest himself through that. So to me, it's just a great reminder to go, how have we complicated this thing called church? And how can we actually just go back to the basics of what it is? And the neat thing is what the reading talks about as well, and I encourage you to go and read this, is that we exist as a body of believers because of one person alone, and that is Jesus. Him as our head. He is the rock from what the ecclesia church, the church is placed upon. It is because of that foundation that it has lasted 2,000 years and will continue to last and will fulfill its purpose here on in this world. So, some things to think about over the next 24 hours, to pray about, to think about coming back to the basics, remembering our foundation that is in Jesus and Jesus alone. So look, thank you very much for joining us today. Really hope that you can take the journey throughout the week, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we talk about our next reading. And just God bless you all, and praying for each of you as we continue to journey through this week together, along with thousands of other young people all over the world. God bless.